Welcome, this is Steve, and in today's video I want to talk to you about the remarkable New York Central J3a Hudson locomotive, number 5426, with a J3 tender, brought to you by Lionel. This awesome, highly detailed model was released in 2015 with so many of the latest features. Now, if you think this is something that interests you, sit back and enjoy my brief history and review of this engine. And if you like what you see, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel so you never miss one of my uploads. The New York Central Railroad primarily operated in the Mid-Atlantic and Great Lakes area of our country. The railroad connected such cities as Chicago and St. Louis, New York, and Boston, and the railroad was established in 1853 and consolidated several existing railroads, and at the height of operations it had trackage in New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, and Massachusetts, and West Virginia. Steam locomotives of the New York Central were built to deliver speed on their basically flat main line. The first Hudson for the New York Central was number 5200 and came about when in 1926 Paul Keffer took over as Chief Mechanical Engineer of Motive Power for the New York Central system, the largest railroad in our nation at that time. Passenger business had grown to the point that many of the mainline trains had to operate in sections because the Class K5 Pacifics assigned to passenger service could only haul 12 cars, and so it became apparent that a new passenger locomotive was needed. Keffer quickly decided to proceed with an experimental 464 locomotive and selected American Locomotive Company to build it. The new engine looked very much like the K5 Pacific. In fact, it was only 5 inches longer and used the same cylinders and drive wheels as the K5, a 462 wheel arrangement. The new 464 had a larger boiler evaporative heating surface and a larger firebox capable of producing much more steam. The first engine was delivered in February 1927 and was tested on the main line between Albany, New York and Syracuse, New York. After the testing, Keffer went to see Pat Crowley, who was president of the railroad, and asked Crowley, "What should we call the new locomotive?" Crowley thought for a minute and said, "Let's call it a Hudson, after the Hudson River," and the name stuck. For a good portion of the 20th century, the New York Central had some of the most famous trains in the United States. Some of these trains were known as the 20th Century Limited, with service between New York City and Chicago, and the Empire State Express, with service between New York City and Cleveland. The model we are looking at today is 5426, which pulled the Empire State Express. Well, enough talk about the history of the railroad and the engine design. Let's talk about this awesome model brought to us by Lionel. This built-to-order, remarkable J3a Hudson is equipped with legacy control, whistle steam, and the correct tender and drive wheel arrangement to reflect the period of 1941 to the early 1950s. The engine also features Odyssey 2 speed control, legacy rail sounds with crew talk and tower comm, Dynachuff, synchronized chuffing, and real-time quilling whistle. Taking a closer look at the engine, we see a lot of separately applied detail. We have the handrail and piping for the drive cylinders, along with the drive gear. We also see what appears to be an owner's plate showing New York Central Railroad, 3rd Equipment Trust of 1937, J.P. Morgan and Company, Incorporated, trustee, owner, lessor. Moving further back along the sides of the engine, we see some skirting, which ties into the fleet of passenger cars. In the silver siding, we see the engine number 5426. We have a fireman and an engineer figure, along with a detailed backhead and firebox glow. Moving on to the tender, we have New York Central on the side, with plenty of separately applied detail and real load of coal in the bunker. Well, enough talking. Let's see and hear this awesome engine in action.
Tower, air test complete. Can I depart? Over.
Roger, your track is clear. Dispatcher over.
Roger that. All clear. Moving to the outbound. Out. Going to join the register book. Out.
Again, this is Steve, and I want to say thank you once again for taking time out of your day to watch my video, and I will see you in the next one.